best for you. And unfortunately, we're saddled with this word macrobiotics now, which comes apparently from the two Greek words macro and bios, meaning large life, which is great. And someone coined it long before the Japanese practitioners that brought this kind of philosophy to the West in the last 60, 70 years. But it wasn't an ancient Greek. And that's all well and good, but it's such a technical term, and it's such, if you like, an alienating term for what is simply food that grows out of the ground in season in your local area. And that's all it ever was. And that's why our grandparents lived like this for free without knowing what it was. They had no choice. We didn't import food. We didn't export food globally. We didn't bring in stuff. We ate what grew out of the ground as we were growing in the same environment. And it was as simple as that. And our lives were much simpler. And one of the problems we've got is global food exporting. I think it's something like 60, I can't remember, it's either 40 or 60% of our global warming is due to food export. I would suggest that a lot of our illnesses are due to mixing foods that don't quite fit with where you actually are. If you go on holiday to a hot country, then you're going to have food that suits that area, a lot more tropical fruit, for instance, and spicy food, or what have you, a lot more lettucey salad food, perhaps, and a lot of booze, probably. But in this country, in England, where we are now, in London, and it's cold-ish, and it's damp, and everything, you'd see, if you put seeds in here, you'd see which ones would grow out of the earth here, and those would be the ones that would suit you best. Any questions?
So how did you go on to pursue macrobiotics? Did some training?
Oh yeah. So at this time, I completed my drama school training, and there was really nothing except drama while I was there, because I start at 10 in the morning and finish at 10 at night, so I couldn't do anything, so I bought a lot of books. So the first lesson I went to was towards the end of my drama course, and it was a Doin lesson. Doin is the art of self-massage. It's self-shiatsu, if you like, finding the points on your body. And it's very, very good. But I had worked in isolation, if you like, with macrobiotics and books, what people had read. So really nobody was doing the lesson properly as far as I was concerned, especially the teacher. And it was all very loose and not like it said in the book. And so this was strange, trying to integrate with other people. About 3 years after I started macrobiotics, I got to do my first proper course, and this was the Cushy Institute Level 1 course, which I don't think it still exists in England, but it certainly does in Amsterdam, where I visited recently, and it's thriving there. And this was very good. We met 5 nights a week, and every other weekend we'd spend the entire Saturday and Sunday working together, and that was very, very good. And the food was good as well, and my acting was taking off at the same time, and indeed I never finished the course. I went off to do acting. Well, every day of my life I've practiced macrobiotics to a certain extent, although there have been periods when I've disappeared off the map completely. It's been too much fun, and that was probably a necessary balance for breaking up a rigidity of thought that I had. But I've always been very clear in my mind to return to simple common sense eating, largely vegetarian food with a little bit of fish thrown in. I never eat meat anymore, just by choice, not for any ideological reasons or emotional reasons, literally because it just doesn't sit with me anymore. But I came back to Cushy Level 1 again in about 1990, where, in fact, I can see people in this room, or 2 of them I met on this particular course. One was in charge of the program, the other one was my contemporary. And it was great. And again, as a result of me buckling down and taking more study and integrating with people and eating cleaner, purer food on a more consistent basis, my acting got better. And I didn't finish the course again, but went off and did more acting. I've been fortunate as much as my acting has always gone very well, and it's gone especially well when I've been practicing the macrobiotic diet clearly and simply, really. And since then, I've found that what suits me best is to do short weekend courses here and there. That's what I can manage in between my engagements. So I've gone to Amsterdam a lot, I've gone to the United States a lot for their summer schools. I'm going to the English summer school this year, which is the One World Camp. One World Peace Camp or just One World Camp, I'm not sure, just One World Camp, which will convene for about 7 or 8 days. Last year I went to Amsterdam to the Cushy Institute summer camp there. I was only able to manage 1 week instead of 2 because I was acting again. And this has been fantastically useful, and I would recommend always touching base with a group of people as often as possible to build up a network of people. We tend to be very easily isolated, purely because there just aren't that many people around. So I don't know how many people are macrobiotically interested in this country, maybe what, 1,000? 1,000 people out of 60 million? When I go to the summer camp in America, it's 700 people. 700 people out of 360 million? There are probably a few thousand in America, aren't there? But I mean, you know, it's tough. And always, you know, when I spend a week in America on campus, on a university campus with 700 like-minded people, it feels the most natural thing in the world. It feels so easy. The exchange of information is fantastically useful, and it's blindingly clear that this is a very sensible and straightforward way forward, if you like. It's the way forward, and when you're not, you can talk yourself out of the most simple situations when you're isolated. So, you know, a lot more scrambled eggs for breakfast will go down in cafes, or a lot more coffee intake will go down, or, you know, I like to treat myself a little bit more with a bit of extra ice cream, but actually it's if you really want to be serious about it, it's interfering with your blood sugars too much. And a certain consistency in your life will produce extraordinary results. I mean, I really believe that, absolutely extraordinary results.
So what advice would you give to someone who's starting?
Eat rice, little salt, shut up. No, I wouldn't. That's exactly what I wouldn't do, I'm afraid. I would, if you possibly can, I would attend cooking classes in the company of as many people as possible. I would form a network of people as soon as possible, and you'll find that they will last you the rest of your life, and as good friends too. I would suggest that you get good advice rather than trying to do it on your own, and I would eat as widely as a vegetarian diet will allow. If you bear in mind, if you were Japanese, you'd have a choice of 300 plant foods to eat from. If you're English or living in England, you will have 60. So, you know, to try and keep it as wide as possible, and to look at as many possible ideas to introduce into your cooking, and make sure you cook for yourself as well as others. It's important to cook for others. To do it only for yourself will produce an implosion, which is not very useful. But to try and take it out to people, to have an exchange, but always make sure that there is food that you have cooked for yourself on a daily basis as well. That's the quickest way you'll understand about your own personal health. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.